Hello aspirants, welcome to the ARK Reflections IAS Academy. And this is Satish, and today we'll explore the UPSC Prelims topic-wise trend analysis related to Indian history of 2024 GS1 Prelims paper. So you all have one doubt why we need this video now. It's simple. Even a small battle can win, or it will have a higher chances of winning with a good strategy. Similarly, I think you are in the last phase of your preparation. For that, your revision, you need a strategy. And we hope this video will complement your preparation of Indian history revision. Even the Bahubali, he won his Mahishmati back not just with his strength, but with his sharp strategy. So let's dig directly into the video. As we see, from 2024 paper, we got how many questions from the ancient? We have 5 questions from the ancient India and 2 questions from art and culture. Sometimes we both are like a integrated subject, so sometimes we can vary the assignments. And the medieval, we got just 1 question, and the modern, we got 3. As we know, as I think you already know, the trend or the number of questions coming from the modern was decreasing. In 2020, we have how many questions? We have 9 questions. Later in 21, we have 7, and 22, we have 4, and 23, we have 3, and 24 also, we have 3. So we can see the decreasing trend of modern Indian question and the increasing trend of the ancient history and also art and culture. So we'll see, roughly we just give it a glance on the questions and we'll just find out the themes. So the first theme was the ancient Indian sites, or the prehistoric and the historic sites specifically. So Chandraketugarh. So this is the 3 column and 3 row was a new innovation that in 2024 the UPSC brought. It's not just asking just like the match the following, it's also giving the 3 columns and 3 rows. So like in first we can see the Chandraketugarh. It is telling that it's in the state of Odisha, and also it's giving this description of the significance. It is telling it's a trade port town. It's also have the theme taken from the PYP. So is it correct? The Odisha is the wrong answer. It's actually from the West Bengal. And the Inamgaon is from the Maharashtra. It's very popular site. I hope almost everyone knows. And also Mangadu is also from the Kerala. It's a megalithic site. And when it comes to the Salihundam, is a very important Buddhist site in Andhra Pradesh, especially in the Srikakulam district. It is telling the rock-cut cave shrines. No, it's not a rock-cut cave shrines. It's a kind of a place with kind of a complex with multiple chaityas, viharas, and stupas. So the 4th is the wrong, and also the 1 is wrong. But what is the theme here? The theme here is the important sites in ancient India. So this is the important theme you have to understand. So what is the correct answer is 2 and 3. That is as a simple correct answer. And it's a straight factual questions. You have to know. But what is the theme here? The theme here is the ancient texts. Ancient important texts. Like the Shakuntalam or the Navaratnas of Gupta, Chandragupta II. Right? So there are multiple ancient texts of Buddhist texts, Jain texts, Hindu texts, and also the civilian texts, and also the foreign accounts. You should just go through all these texts. So when it comes to the answer here, so which of the work attributed to the playwright Basa was Madhyama Gayoga? It's a direct factual question. The next question. So with reference to the ancient India, Gautam Buddha, it means the question is related to Buddhism. Everyone knows, like from the Buddhism and the Jainism is the most probable area where the UPSC will ask questions. At least 2 questions, 1 to 2 questions, definitely it will come from these 2 parts. And here they're asking about the epithets. epithets. In UPSC, even you have to read not just the RSH, but also the dictionary sometimes. So even you know the names, it's very hard, so that you can refer the Hindi text, so that you will get a good understanding about what the question is about. The epithets means the titles. Here, what are the other titles or the other names for Gautam Buddha? Is the Nayaputta is a title of Buddha? No, Nayaputta is a title of Vardhamana Mahavira. But Shakya Muni, everyone knows. Gautam Buddha belongs to the Shakya clan. And Tathagata. Tathagata means the one who left and the one who comes. Tat means thus, and Gata and Agata. Agata and Gata. Gata means gone. Agata means come. The one who gone to the reality and one who comes from the reality. That is the Gautam Buddha. So the 2 and 3 is the correct answer. But the theme here you have to understand is the question again from the Buddhism. And the next question. There are no parables in Upanishad. Again, they are playing with the English words here. There are no parables. The parables here means the moral stories. The moral stories or the we call Niti Kada. Niti Kadas. They're asking just write a very extreme statement. Like there are no parables in the Upanishad. Is that true? No. There are multiple parables in Upanishads. As I remember, the one parable from the Chandogya Upanishad, where the Shvetaketu is a boy. He learns from his father, Upalika. He learns from his father that the Brahma, the soul, is like salt mixed in water. Is like salt mixed in water. As we can only taste the water and we can feel the saltiness, but the salt is not visible to the human or the naked eye. Similarly, his father told to Shvetaketu that the Atma is everywhere or the Brahma is everywhere, but it cannot visible to our naked eye, but we can feel it. So these kind of parables or many parables existed in the Upanishads. So the first statement is blatantly wrong. So the Upanishads were composed earlier than Puranas. This is even with the basic knowledge we can understand that first the Vedas came, next the Upanishads came, and later the Puranas came. Mostly it started writing Puranas during the Gupta era, which is around 4th century. The Puranas, they started to emerge in the 4th century. So this is true and the answer is B. It's simple. Sanghabhuti. But Sanghabhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who traveled to China. Here, what is the theme? Buddhism. It's monks and also travelers. And we can see, we all know the Itzing, Huensang. These are very important travelers who came from China to India. And they also the Buddhist travelers. So China, and the question is, was the author of commentary on which? He is the author of commentary on Sravastivada Vinaya. The Sravastivada Vinaya it was authored by Sanghabhuti. So, but understand the theme here. The Buddhist monks and the travelers. So you have to give a special focus on this area. Next one is a dynamic question. Everyone have one misconception that the history is very static. But the UPSC is changing that. It is bringing the dynamism to the history angle. So we can see which one of the following was the latest inclusion in the intangible cultural heritage list of UNESCO. So according to this question was given in the 2024 because that time the Garba dance from the Gujarat, as you can also see that dance in the Padmavat movie. The Deepika Padukone, she performs a very beautiful song with the Garba dance. So the Garba dance It belongs to Gujarat. It was added to the intangible cultural heritage in the list of UNESCO. What is its latest? What is the latest inclusion in the 2025? So in the 2024 is the Garba dance. And what is the latest inclusion in the 2025? It's still the Garba dance. Is the latest. So we'll go to the next question. We consider the following properties including the World Heritage List released by the UNESCO. So it is asking, so what is the answer? The answer is the Shantiniketan and also the sacred ensembles of Hoysala. So Hoysala complex, there are 3 major temples. So these both are added to the World Heritage List. And we can also see some probable questions if they ask. Like recently, there is a news that Bhagavad Gita and the Natya Shastra by Bharata Muni both are added to the UNESCO Memory of the World Register. So this is very important. The memory of the world register. So what are the 2 things it was added? One was Natya Shastra, and second one was Bhagavad Gita. So these 2 things were added. So there is a high probability of the questions come from this area. And next, when it comes to medieval India, we observed that there is one question from the medieval India. So which of the following rulers of the medieval India gave permission? This is a straight factual question. Give permission to the Portuguese to build a fort at Batkal. The fort at Batkal. Batkal is also a kind of a shore town near, in which state? Right now it's in Karnataka. The answer is the Krishna Deva Raya. This incident was happened in the 1510 AD. And the Krishna Deva Raya, he ruled from 1509 to 1529. He had a very good relations and he maintained very good relations with the Portuguese. But what is the theme here? It's also important. Sites of medieval India. So this is very important. And the kings also. And kings, their interactions with Europeans. So this is the theme we can see. And with reference to the revenue collection, so we came to the modern history part. So what is the theme? From the question we observed that the revenue policies, the administrative and the revenue policies of British. Revenue policies, because the revenue is also part of an administrative policies, the revenue policies of British in the colonial period. So under this, the Raitwari settlement and the revenue, the peasants were exempted from the revenue payment in case of bad harvest. It's very not so good, because Britishers don't have any kind of a moral thinking or kind of a humane thinking for the Indian peasants, because their maximum intention was to drain the wealth from India to Europe. So the first statement was absolutely wrong. And the second, under the permanent settlement, the Bengal, if the Zamindar failed to pay his revenues, the state, it is very much true, and it is also one of the probable reasons for the 1857 revolt, especially in the Awadh region. Which of the statements of above given are correct? That is 2 only. Very simple, but we can understand the theme, the revenue policies of British. So this is the important theme. Who was the provisional president of the Constituent Assembly before Dr. Rajendra Prasad took over? And who is the provisional president? The provisional president before the straightforward factual question, Dr. Sachidananda Sinha is the one who was a provisional president. Later, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, he took over the Constituent Assembly. And next, with reference to the Government of India Acts, these pre-independence acts also very important. The pre-independence act also very important. At least probable the probability is that there is one question related with these pre-independence acts. They will come. It provided for the establishment of All India Federation based on the union of the first statement is very easily with the minimal knowledge also we can answer. The defense and the foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal religion. So this is also the under the control of the federal. No, this is the statement is little extreme, because why? The diarchy was introduced into the provinces in 1919. But in 1935, which is according to the question, the diarchy was introduced. What is this diarchy? The government, the roles, the executive powers was divided into two parts. One is reserved and the one is transferred. So as we see, the federal legislature was related very much to the states. But the defense and foreign affairs, was kept very much under the hand of Governor General or the Viceroy of that time. So it's not went into the control of federal legislature. So the second option is wrong and the correct answer is one only. But what is the theme here? The theme here is the pre-independence acts. This is the theme you have to focus. And as we analyze from these 2024, as we see from the Buddhism, the number of questions were 2. And you have to focus on schools of Buddhism, councils, stupas, and philosophy. It's not just related to Buddhism, but also to the Jainism also. And the ancient texts, these are also very important, like Vedas, Puranas, Sangam literature, Smriti texts. The Sangam you have to give special focus, as these days the political heat is very much in the Tamil Nadu. And the prehistoric sites, as we see, the Chandraketu Gar or the Inamgaon, these sites also very important. Like other sites also you have to give special focus. But also UN recognized heritage sites, as I mentioned, the memory of the world, the UNESCO World Memory of the World Register was like the Natya Shastra and Bhagavad Gita was added to the UNESCO World Memory of the World. So those kind of important dynamic things are very important. And also the Narendra Modi, he started the National Maritime Complex in Lodha. Those kind of dynamic things are very important. When it comes to the medieval sites, temples, forts, Indo-Islamic architecture, because the architecture is one of the significant part when it comes to the medieval Indian history, because even the Nagara, the proper and the zenith of the temple architecture, and also the Islamic architecture, like the Taj Mahal, we can see these are all was done during the medieval area. And the British revenue policies, this is very important. It's not how the British persecuted, it's their administrative policies and the evolution of the civil services or the evolution of the education system into the India. These kind of things are very important. The Zemindari, Rayatwari, Mahalwari, what is the difference between the three and which are the highest tax rate? These are the things are very important. And the pre-independence acts, as we have the question from the pre-independence acts, like the Government of India Act, Regulating Act, Spits India Act, these kind of acts also very important. And also the Constituent Assembly. So these are the who are the framers of our present constitution. These constitutions also related things are very important. The constitution debates, who are the chairman, who headed the drafting committee, these kind of things are very important. So what this all tells us, what this analysis tells us, the ancient India plus culture is beyond the priority number 1. Previously, we observed the number of questions are from the modern Indian history because it has the highest relevance to the present contemporary times. But now the importance is given to the ancient India and culture, as we are missing our culture and cultural part. So UPSC is stressing and to bring back the ancient Indian culture. Ancient texts, prehistoric sites make up a big chunk these days. As we see that there are number of 7 to 8 questions they have given from the ancient India and the art and culture alone. And also the questions become the static factual questions along with the concept based questions also. Along with the concept based questions along with the static questions. Both type of the questions are we can see very well, like the Rayatwari, Mahalwari systems, other permanent settlement systems. And the medieval history and also Indian polity in the context of the modern history context. As we see in the Lakshmikant, the evolution of the constitution, we have seen like the multiple acts, the pre-independence acts, and also at the end of the Lakshmikant, we have the constituent assembly members, the committees. We can see these are very much relevant of this time, and how to prepare based on these trends, and how you have to revise these things. When it comes to the ancient India, like the focus on the schools, symbols, stupas, and councils, and learn the key features like the Tripitakas and ancient books. These are very important, and also the sites, and also the society, religion, culture. These are also very important, and the sources, very standard sources. I have picked some very standard sources like the India's ancient past, like the R.S. Sharma, the old NCERT, and also the R.S. Sharma book, Indian art and culture, themes in Indian history, the new NCERT. And when it comes to the art and culture, you just give a glance about the UNESCO World Heritage Sites and their timeline and their importance in whom dynasty, which site has came up, like, and also know their year of recognition, cultural, natural, and mixed sites also very important, and dynasty, pattern, site connections. These are important, and these days this book is becoming more popular because the number of questions are coming from the Upender Singh book, A History of Ancient and Early Medieval India, and also Nitin Singh Gania, Introduction to Indian Art. These books also very popular. And when it comes to the medieval as a standard book, Satish Chandra, and also the new NCERT, the old and new NCERTs, these both books will suffice for your preparation of the modern Indian history, as the questions are also very much limited, but still you have to explore these things. Dynasties and their features, and especially the South Indian dynasties of the medieval India, especially the Vijayanagara Empire, you have to give the special focus, their travelers and the society, culture, economy of that time. You must give the special focus. And when it comes to the modern history, the British administrative policies, social religious reform movements, and also kind of Indian national movement, the origin, the moderate phase, the revolutionary phase, Gandhian phase, these kind of phases, and also the pre-independent acts like 1770. And you must also know the difference between the Regulating Act, Charter Act, and also Government of India Act. These kind of acts you must know. And the Constituent Assembly committees. And what are the basic sources? And almost you already know the brief history of modern India. It's one of the important sources. The spectrum, the famous word is spectrum. The Bipin Chandra and the new NCERTs. And along with the Indian polity also, in the Lakshmikant also, you have the initial chapters you have, and the initial and the last chapters you have something related to the modern Indian history. And I hope this video will be very much helpful for you. I will attach this presentation down in the link of this video. And I hope this video complements your presentation, and all the best for your preparation. Thank you.